Around 2 months ago, I built a SaaS and I made a big mistake that will actually cause my failure, I think. But let me give you a little more context. So, around a year ago, a friend of mine just started his social media agency. After a couple of months in the business, he started to identify a problem he had with his software. So, he had too many different softwares to handle all his process. And so, he came to me and he asked me if I could build him a custom solution in order to have everything in one place. So, at first, I started working on the architecture documents and everything in order to identify the cost of the product, and the cost was too high. Well, it was the cost that he was actually expecting, but still. So I had a solution. I told him, you know what? Let me just build this app so it is my app and I sell you a subscription to it. And he was kind of okay with that. So I started to build the app right away. And this was my first mistake. I don't know if you hear a wind noise in the background. I'm sorry. It's just my fan that is running because it's so hot in here, but I can't do without it. So yeah. Anyways, so I started building the app right away. And so I spent around 2 to 3 months developing this app in order to have something really nice. And I have something really nice today. Like the software is really good. The architecture of the software is nice. And the overall quality of the product is really good. But the issue is I didn't do any market analysis and I didn't spend time on the non-tech part of the project. And that was maybe the most important thing because today, after 3 months, I finally decided to start looking for other people, other than my friend in the field, in order to see if there is a need for that product and if, people would be okay to just try it out for free. So I started doing an outbound campaign and I sent a couple of DMs to people in the field on LinkedIn, and here are the answers I got. So I translated them because I sent them in French. So I had, I'm not in the field anymore. I moved into sales. Thanks for reaching out though. So nice little answer. Then, hi, I don't have time for this. Best luck. Little bit cold. Then, hi, please don't contact me. I'm not interested. Okay. And hi, I'd like you to remove my email from your contact list because I did a little bit of email too. So people are not interested. And these are the answers because I got a lot of other people who didn't even bother to answer. And I reached out to them twice, because I was like, I need to just go back to them in case they didn't see my first message or whatever. But they just don't care. And in the message, I just tell them, look, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions and I have nothing to sell because I was not going to sell them my app. At the end of the call, I was just going to tell them, listen, I built this app, you can just use it for free. But people were not interested. It's crazy, even for free. And that was a big mistake because spending 3 months to build something nobody wants to use is useless. It is just wasted time. So I'm going to show you the app right now because I talked about it a little bit on this channel, but I never showed it. But let's go. Here it is. So the app is called MakerFlow. And basically, the point of it is to, as I said, group everything related to a social media agency in one place. So the first big feature that I developed was a social media connection. So basically, the user comes here, he connects all his accounts in one place, and he has stats about these accounts. So my Instagram account is not connected, but I connected my YouTube and my TikTok. So here you have some graphs that are actually not updated because I didn't run the worker, that runs every hour, I think, in order to fetch the data. So yeah, we got some data, some stats. Here we have a script part where we list each script and their status. Then we have a client feedback part. So we have four main features. The first is these social media stats part. The second is a script building feature. The third is a client feedback feature, and the fourth is it's a small feature. It's just a calendar, okay, where you just set up all your scripts and just see where you were. So just set up your scripts and, just to have a visual of the next content you need to do, the next content you need to publish. So for the scripts part, it's a script editor. So it was the first feature that I built, but it's not completely over because I decided to integrate some AI in order to help building the scripts. So for now, it's just a basic text editor, with a couple of status for the scripts. You can add some tags. You can create new tags, add a color. You just create it and insert it. You can choose the platform. You can change the title. Basic stuff. Then here you have two things. The first is a chat with an AI. Well, I will not run it right now because I need to start all my workers and everything because we are in dev here and it will consume credits. So I prefer to not run it. But you can just write stuff for the AI, tell it to help you for the script. Then the AI will just ask you questions in order to identify exactly what you want, and then it will give you suggestions. The AI will either rebuild the whole script and give you a new version, or just give you some little improvements, some little parts that you can accept or not to insert in the script. So it's basically like a cursor. We have a little shortcut feature, which is actually nice. I really like building this. So we have shortcuts with we have keyboard shortcuts in order to do things. So I just do Command F and it goes in the search bar, and I can just write something and it will search for the right script. So let's see, build in public. Yes, it works. Of course it works. For the calendar, I already showed you this, so it's just basic stuff. We can just create a new script. The only issue is that we cannot edit the script here because I don't know why I did that. I should have made an inline edit or something. Here you need to click on the edit button, then you come in the scripts editing panel. For the reviews, it's a content review system for the clients. So basically what you do is you create a new review, you upload your content, so it can be image, video, carousel. You set titles and stuff. You still have you also have some keyboard shortcuts here in order to just create your thing faster. And then here for the videos, you can just stream them. So I just do the whole HLS processing in the backend in order to send my video chunks here. We have a system that just updates the resolutions based on the network connection. So when you have a bad network connection, it's in 480p, I think. And if it's a good network connection, it goes to 180p, and we have a 720. It is a dynamic resolution, so it was really nice to build. So this is a real video that I uploaded before. You can change the title, the description, add a new version, because for a piece of content you can have multiple versions based on the client reviews. Then you have a comments feed where the client just writes comments and suggestions about the piece of content. You can pin a comment to a specific time. We have a keyboard shortcut here too. So there you have them. And you can link a script. And as I said, you have multiple versions. So this is the agency UI, the agency panel. We also have a client panel where the client sees these pieces of content, but the UI is basically the same. Then we have a whole content part where we display all the fetched content on the different platforms, and we display some stats too in order to have everything in one place, so it's really nice. We have YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Here we don't have Instagram is not connected. I can connect it, but I don't think my account is logged in, so whatever, it doesn't matter. We have groups, so the app just does automatic groups for the same contents. So in order to identify groups, what we do is we take a piece of content on YouTube, let's say, and then we fetch TikTok and we compare them. So we compare the length, we compare the title, and we compare the creation date, the publication date. And so when these three things match, we have a group, and a group is basically the same content published on different platforms. And it's really good because you see here with the covers, all the covers are actually the same. It's the same piece of content. So the algorithm works quite good, and it's really nice. And we can also add posts in the group by hand. So if the algorithm forgot one piece of content. So I think that's it. These are the features that I built. And so this is like the first version of the app, so it's a beta version. We have some bugs, especially for the scripts part. I think I have some improvements to make for the AI part, you know, for the suggestions. So it's really a good app, but the only issue of this app is that I didn't do the market analysis. I didn't work on the marketing first. And as I said, building is the easy part. Building is the most enjoyable part for me, at least, because I'm a developer, you know, and I like to code. So I just started to code right away, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake. But now I don't know if this app is a failure or not yet, because I sent maybe 30 LinkedIn connections. I got 10 people who accepted me, and so I sent 10 DMs, and on these 10 DMs I got 2 answers, you know. And I sent a couple of mails too, but I think that I need to improve my volume, because 30 is a small number. I think I need to be way more aggressive with the volume, you know. So I don't think that the app is dead yet, you know. I think I still have some things to do in order to make sure of that, but I'm not that confident as I was at the beginning of the project, because even when I give the app for free, people don't want it. So I'm like, who's gonna pay for it? You know. So I think, like, now I think that the next step is to just increase the volume, but really, really increase it. I need to be in the hundreds, and I also need to improve my message, because one day I was scrolling on LinkedIn and I saw a guy showing a mail that he received, and saying that this mail was everything wrong with outbound campaigns. So the mail was not personalized, it was some generic stuff, and it was actually quite similar to the message DM that I sent. So I think I need to improve my messages. You know, this is not a perfect video with a nice little ending where I tell you that I succeeded, that I made my first sale on the app, because this is not the case. I'm still in the process of figuring out what to do next. I'm still in the process of identifying the problem, and you know, trying to have some result with this app. So you know, this video is here just to document my whole process and to give you the state of my journey, let's say. So yeah, that's it. I hope you liked the video. It was Adam. See you for the next one. Peace.